Welcome, left-hand yarners. Please like and subscribe right now before you forget. That would be lovely. I would like to turn this into something. It would have sure helped me out. So right now we're gonna do, this is probably the last video we're gonna do. I am a little upset that I decided to choose the first pattern as one that I paid for. So the next pattern I choose will be free so that I can just do a full tutorial, okay? So right now we're gonna show you how to put the ears on. We're gonna identify the rows and sew them on, and then do the same with the tail. All right. Let's open up my body bag. I put one ear on. Here's his body. We're not gonna sew this together because I probably will mess up a few times. And like I said, I paid for this, so I can't do the whole video. All right, so we'll take out the arms. The arms will be hooked. This is just simple sewing. Both are opened. You actually do sew it like that where both are open. And the arms would go here. So we're gonna do the ear first. Now, let's see, it is rows 6 through 9. So we're gonna count, and let me see if I can zoom in just a little. So we're gonna count, let's see, 6 to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you wanna go on the outside of the 6. Just pin it. All right, so that is 6, 7, 8, 9. Pin it. Now what you want to do is generally you want to look at the picture of the pattern, and you can generally see the picture if you zoom in about how many stitches away that the ears started from, like the eye, or you can count diagonally like this. So that's kind of what I did for this first one. So I can see right now that down the middle here is where I want to be, and it looks pretty good. I might want to go back one stitch, and then yeah, this is generally how I do it. And then this looks like I'm trying to put a little headpiece on him. So like I kind of measure. So from his nose to the bottom of his ears, about there. So his nose from the bottom of the ears right there. So directly above that, about a row and a half. And it actually looks like I did that right on the first try, which is amazing. Okay, so we're gonna take her ear, and now see how this is kind of pinched closed. We want to try to keep it the same because they're not stuffed. So, but they also didn't ask us to sew these closed. If they did, it would have been flat. So it needs to be kind of a little chunky. So what you want to do basically is first find out where you want to start. Now, remember the long tails that I talked about? We will make that disappear, and I'll show you how I like to start that. I think I want to start. Okay, I'm going to flip it around. I think it'll look better because it's a little pointed down here. So now what you want to do is put your first little V, or your first stitch, or your first piece of yarn right in there. And then you want to do the same at the bottom. Like that. Let's so that it's straight between the two. Okay, so that's how I usually like to start it. If it's a bigger piece, I'll use clips, and then I'll probably clip on both sides too if it's a bigger piece. So we start with the tapestry needle. And now the previous video that I did was a little messy because it was a little bit longer. And the biggest thing is I wanted to show you how you finish. But so now we're gonna do this on a tinier piece. So I'll be able to go through the whole thing with you without rushing. So now here's where it starts. You wanna go directly underneath that. And you can sew this way or you can sew this way. It does not matter. So go directly under. Now, it does say sew between these two. So actually, we should not stick it there. We should stick it on the same row here as this guy. And then you should probably just go over one row. I know it fell off, but we're about to bring it back. Now from here, you're not gonna miss a V. Not gonna miss a single V. So up through the whole V, down through the whole V. You're trying to escape from me. So I'm gonna take him out. Now, that needs to be put back and stop coming off. Alright, so you want to find a stitch very close, or you could use the same stitch, especially in tinier pieces like this, and keep reminding yourself you have another ear over here, and you want it to look as best as possible. So I'm going to go down through the same hole because it's actually still directly up underneath there. And then go into the next stitch. And then I'll just go up through the same one. Just as long as it doesn't get too bulky looking, you're fine. And if you feel like this is your first time doing it and you're afraid you might mess up, do not yank the yarn as hard as you can. Because if you have to go back, it isn't easy, especially with this type of yarn. Yep, I did go through that one. And don't be trial fancy and do this all in one shot. No, slow down the speed up. Next stitch over. So with this guy needs to be a little rounded. Which means we can't go past this. So it's gonna make it rounded because of that. Because right now it looks like an oval. Go up through the closest V. Even if it's the same one, you just had to use smaller pieces or a little more frustrating. And you have to do a little more. The idea is to go over one stitch, up and down, one stitch, up and down. Like that's the perfect way to do it. These tinier pieces, it is not the easiest to do exactly that. Stop disappearing. Alright, so we just can't go past him, but we have to go in him. So, I did the other ear to kind of get an idea of what this was gonna look like. So I already, let's see, I already went down. So now I gotta go up and in to the row that thing was in. And that's one piece of yarn. You wanna get through a whole stitch with 2 pieces of yarn. Sometimes I end up grabbing 3 or 4, just as long as you are pretty sure that no little fingers can be pushed through. Okay, up the V, down the V. And this is still row 9, so I think we're safe. That's too close though, so I'm gonna have to go like half a stitch. Okay, I'm gonna make them a little bit fatter because the other one is. So I'm gonna go out a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here for a minute because here is that giant long tail. What I'm gonna do is ensure that the littlest fingers, the littlest mischievous fingers, cannot pull the loose pieces out. So what I'm gonna do is like go up like that, just pretty much tangle it all in there, tie it like that. I just made a little knot, maybe go under one more time. And then what you want to do is shove it through the other side, wherever you want to, just as long as it's not a different color. And where are my favorite scissors? There they are. There. Perfect. See? All right. All right, so let's go. Wait, did this one? Yep, that one got. I kind of wish I could be like as professional and like no messing up like the other people. Maybe this makes it more relatable. I don't really know. I'm trying my hardest here while I am going through workers' comp, dying here because of my back. My problem is I cannot sit. I can only stand for maybe an hour the most, and I can lay down. I can lay down on my belly and on my side. I cannot lay down on my back, so it's so frustrating. I'm gonna go through there. And his ear is a little bit longer, so we're gonna improvise. Okay, so we're gonna go through here, and then we're gonna tighten that bottom. His ear is still bigger on one side. Oh my. Let's see what we can do. They were pointy, so I don't understand. I feel like I should have done an invisible fasten off, but it didn't give me those directions. But you see what I'm doing? It's very easy. And you just want to make sure you don't create like a huge, obvious knot in one spot. But you see how I'm tightening them up. I'm going around the bottom just to push it through. And it looks similar. It's back actually a little bit too far. I'll squeeze it. The 5-year-old won't know. Okay, so now we've already gone back and forth through here. So honestly, we can just go. And we are done with this ear. Now we're gonna put the tail on. Now, the instructions for that was sew slantly at row 11 to 12. Now we started from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so that's 11, that's 12. So I assume we're gonna go straight for the middle and slanted. No, we're gonna go a little bit. So here's the middle. So we're gonna, let's see, go over, because this is 4 crochets. So we can go over 1, over 2, and then, wait, 1, okay, lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What do I feel like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I must have made one leg shorter than the other. Whoops. Okay. Alright. That sucks. So let's see. We're going to get 4 stitches out of that. No. Probably from there to there. We will get 4 stitches. No! So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the tail through here. Now this is already sewn flat. So, but because it's a single piece and it's pretty solid, sometimes I go through it twice. So make sure you're going through a thick piece. Okay, so this kind of still applies. And you go up and over. I'm just gonna guesstimate because the tail is pretty solid. Okay, so this and this, we want to make sure that is not visible. So you want to go over it and then pull it somehow. So if you pull it through here, that means the next stitch you make is going to have to be directly next to that stitch. So go up and over, pick one. You don't want this to be an easy piece to rip off. So it doesn't look exactly the most secure there either. So we're gonna go up through here. And we're gonna bring that tail piece down and go through this way. And I still don't feel like that there is the most secure. Wait. This needs to go. Came out this end, so it needs to go up through. It always still needs to go up through or all the way through the V's. Always, you can't forget that. Okay, so I went up through there, so I'm gonna go down through here. And randomly come up. Come on now. Okay, I can randomly go through there. Okay. Now I think I'm gonna go back around one more time. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm ripped. I want this solid. But you still need to follow the basic rule. Once you put it through, you need to go up and over or straight through. Okay, I think this is a couple more on the other side and we are good. I didn't mean to make this too long, but I did want to reiterate that, you know, as I learn, I want to teach others. And explain some tricks I found, because this is honestly a trick. I don't really see very many people mess up through here. But when I take other directions, I mess up here. Is that the same hole? Got to find out. It was. Okay, let's try that again. This piece is about to rip too. Alright, we are about done. And now you would do the same thing as before. So I would just push up and over and down. You can do this. This is one of the things some people do. They go through the body, and if they still have a super long tail, jeez, this thing is ripping apart, then they will go through the body again. Come on, where did you stop? So just one stitch over. Can't make it more secure than this. And there we go. The tail is complete. I cannot wait to give you guys a real tutorial. Now, I do have something planned. It's not really going to be kid-friendly, but it's going to be a phallic type plushie that I want to make. And it's only because it was a request, and I thought it was pretty funny, and so it's not gonna be made for kids. There will be a caution sign, but I think some people might find it funny. So see you on the next tutorial. Thank you.